Hello, this is Father Gregory. So I am giving my Monday musing in the absence of Father Carl. Father Carl is still on vacation and was great yesterday seeing everybody at the church. Especially, I think the turnout was especially wonderful for the 11 o'clock mass. It was great seeing everybody. And so today I'm going to muse a little bit more on 4th of July and the founding of our country. So I think the readings from yesterday was really fitting for 4th of July. It has to do with the theme of being a prophet, the office of prophet. So I think this has been in the American psyches even before the founding of the country. So the founding founders of Massachusetts Bay Colony, the Puritans, even as early as 1630, they saw themselves as the city built on the hill that cannot be hidden. And so their way of life should be a prophecy, should be in accordance with Christian value as they understood it, should be, revelatory of God in the way that they lived, in their lifestyle, in the way of their life. And so we can look at our lives too. We are also called to be prophets in our own lives. We're called to speak the words of God, speak the truth always, and act in a way that gives witness to our faith. In the meantime, we're called to radiate God's love and joy of the gospel wherever we are, wherever we live. So in the first reading from this past Sunday, we read about the call of prophet Ezekiel. And God already told prophet Ezekiel that some people wouldn't hear what he had to say. So God told him, whether they heed or resist, they shall know that a prophet has been among them. And then in the gospel too, we read that some people really didn't want to hear Jesus' teaching. So especially in his hometown Nazareth. So Jesus said, well, a prophet is not without honor except in his native place and among his own kin and his own house. So he wasn't able to do much with them because they simply didn't want to hear his words. They simply resisted his teaching. And Jesus also told us, no disciple is greater than the master. So if Jesus encountered people who wouldn't listen to him, we will also encounter people who wouldn't listen to our witness to the faith. But let us not be discouraged, because St. Paul, he also encountered a lot of resistance, and he also said, I will rather boast gladly of my own weaknesses, in order that the power of Christ might dwell in me. And when I am weak, I am strong. Because when we are weak, we really forced to rely on God's grace and God's power. So anything we can do when we are weak, we know that it's from God's strength, and that is a good thing. And now I would like to continue to muse on some future American saints who definitely are a light in the darkness. And since, in 4th of July, we pay tribute to the men and women who are risking their lives or have sacrificed their lives to protect us, to protect our way of life, to protect our freedom, I would just like to highlight two military chaplains who are servants of God. Namely, they are going to be saint, hopefully one day. One is Father Emil Capon, who was born in 1916 in Kansas. He was ordained as a priest in 1940, and he became an army chaplain. He was sent to Burma in the Second World War and then served in Japan. And subsequently, he was sent to Korea during the Korean War. And he was captured by the North Korean army, and he was sent to a prisoner's camp. And in the camp, he was known for his bravery for serving the American prisoners of war. He smuggled in food and medication. Eventually, unfortunately, he died in 1951 in the camp of malnutrition and pneumonia. Another one is servant of God, Father Vincent Capodanno, who was born in 1929 in Staten Island, New York. He entered the Maryknols in 1949 and ordained as a Maryknoll priest in 1958. He was sent to Taiwan, where I'm from. He was there for 6 years and then transferred to Hong Kong. But then subsequently, he found his second vocation. He became a Navy chaplain for the Vietnam War, and he served with the Marine Corps in Vietnam. And in Operation Swift in 1967, he was ministering to the Marines in central Vietnam, and he ministered to the wounded and dying soldiers, giving them the last rite, and he refused to be evacuated after he was seriously wounded. And he was killed by gunfire while giving the last rite to wounded Marines. And in 2002, his cause of canonization opened, and in 2013, he was officially designated as a servant of God by the Holy See. And as of 2019, there has been a credible miracle attributed to his intercession. So we continue to pray that these servants of God may intercede for us, and we pray that one day they will be recognized as saints by the Universal Church. And just one last housekeeping item. So you may see the sign in the playing structure on the school playground. As you know, they are not ready to be played yet for your safety and for the sake of the equipment itself. So please, for now, don't allow your children to play on it nor step on it after or before the Mass. So thank you very, very much, and God bless.